Howdy folks, today we have an amp repair, hooray! Haven't had one in a while. So this is an old Princeton Reverb, and customer gave it to me saying that it was getting some squealing and all sorts of feedback. I've taken the back cover off here because I found stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the amp on and I'm going to show you what I found. So usually when an amplifier has been working fine and all of a sudden it starts squealing, the first thing I'm going to do is check for microphonics on the tubes. Now I'm going to start with the preamp tubes because most of the time it's the preamp tubes that go microphonic. It's rarely the power tubes that do. Now these power tubes look really new and I'm not sure what they are, but one of the things I did notice is they were very loose, and look at this one, it's wobbling around like crazy. It is actually, if I pull down on it, it is quite tight in there, but the socket itself is quite loose. So yeah, you know, we'll have a look at that and see if we can tighten it up. But I think it's actually working okay. These valves, these two, they look pretty big for 6V6s. I'm sure this amp's supposed to be a 6V6. I'll pull them out and have a look in a second. We'll do that actually before we have a look at the preamp tubes and the microphonics. So hang on a second, let me get both hands and pull one of these tubes out and have a look. They kind of look like 6L6s to me instead of 6V6s. Bergera EL34s. Interesting choice of tube for a Princeton. Anyway, I might put that back in because that was obviously a customer's choice. Actually, what I'll do before I put them in, I'm gonna, sorry about the wobbling, let me get these out again. I might just give these a bit of a pinch just to tighten them up. Okay, and then I'll slide these tubes back in and I think they'll be okay. That's an interesting choice of tube. I might talk to the customer quickly about that and see what the go there is. But anyway, Alright, so I'm going to ring the customer in a second, but I thought I'd go through and show you the microphonics that I'm finding. So I'm going to I've flicked the amp on right now. Just waiting for it to warm up. I'm going to check for heaters and lights and things like that. I can see a bit of a glow there. I can see a glow in the rectifier tube. I can see a glow in what's probably the reverb receive tube. So these go preamp 1 and 2, reverb send, I think, and preamp 3, reverb receive, and tremolo maybe, and then phase inverter. Okay, so I'm going to turn the volume up. I'm just going to reach around and do that. Okay, so we'll hear a little bit of puffing or hissing. So we can hear that. I'm using a toothbrush that I use to usually clean things. So I don't use this to brush my teeth. But have a listen. Oh, listen to that. You can hear that coming through. Now listen to the difference when I turn the volume all the way down. Oh, that's still coming through. Okay, microphonics gone on preamp 1 and 2. That's not unusual. Reverb send and preamp 3 wasn't doing anything. There's some sensitivity here on the reverb receive. Interesting. Okay, so quick way to do this is we're going to change that tube and we're going to change this tube and see if the problem goes away. Alright, so what I've done now, and because you know, I said we're going to change 2 tubes, change one at a time. Whenever you're doing, I'm going to flick this on, let it warm up. Whenever you're doing any testing or changing things and trying to figure out what the hell's going on with something, change one thing at a time. So I've changed this tube here now, which is, I believe if I look at the schematic, it's going to be preamp 3 and tremolo, I think. Or no, sorry, reverb, receive and tremolo. Anyway, listen to that. Nothing. Okay, let me turn the volume up and try it. Nothing. Listen to that. Still have a bit of... You can actually hear the reverb working there too on preamp 1. Now let me turn the volume all the way down. Oh, that's the wrong way. And if I do that again, nothing. Okay, so let's turn this off. Let's fix up the microphonics in this tube here, preamp 1, and I think this amp will be done. Alrighty, so I've just changed both those preamp tubes, preamp 1, or valve 1, which is preamp 1 and 2, and valve 3. So let's test it out. So this is with volume down, so I'm not expecting any microphonics. Nothing there, and finally, nothing there. Nothing there. Let's turn the volume up. That's nearly all the way up, actually. No microphonics. No microphonics. No microphonics. No microphonics. No microphonics. Hooray! And now we're going to plug something in to make sure we actually have some sort of sound coming out of this thing. So I'm just going to keep it on, but I'll turn the volume down and we'll plug a guitar in and play some music. I'll put the volume on about 2.5. That pot's a bit loose, I'll fix that up. Bass and treble in the middle, reverb's on 5. Let's bring it down to about 3. Don't know if the tremolo works, we'll try that in a second. Reverb certainly works. Wow. So, because this has EL34s in it, I wonder if it's been modified. Oh, it's a bit too low. Let's 2.5 maybe? Wow. From 2 to 2.5, it's like going from playing an electric guitar not plugged in to having the amp on halfway. Well, reverb works. Let's try tremolo. Yeah, something there. Well, there you go, guys. It's not feeding back anymore and squealing like the customer said it was. It's sounding great. Bit of a mystery as to why there's EL34s in a Princeton. Should have 6v6s. My biggest concern with that has nothing to do with the wrong tubes. My biggest concern is EL34s, what do they consume? About 1.5 amps per tube. So that's 3 amps per tube. 6v6s consume about 1/3 of that. I think about 500 milliamp or something, or maybe a little bit more, 800 milliamp. I'm going by memory. Look up the data sheet. In fact, maybe I'll just put them up on the screen right now as I'm talking, and we'll see the difference. So I'm going to call the customer and find out if that's the case or not, if he's modified it. Now, one thing that tells me that this amp has been modified in some way is that the power transformer on this side, well, it's got a 240 volt jack, okay, and it's a 120 or 110 volt model. So perhaps the transformer has been changed to 240 volt, and if it has, I wonder if they've put like a bassman or something that would have taken like 6L6s, a showman or a bandmaster transformer in here. So maybe that's what's happened. I don't know. Sometimes it's one of those, you know, mysteries in life. But yeah, this thing sounds great now. Unlike my guitar playing, apologies guys, I'm a bass player, I'm not a guitarist. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and girls, I hope, I assume some ladies may be watching. I'm going to flick this off right now. Yeah, I just wanted to say to everyone, thanks for watching, and I appreciate the support, and the channel's growing organically and slowly, which is great. And I think I've just passed the 500 or 600 subscriber zone, and I'm heading towards that 1,000. So yeah, I appreciate every single subscription that joins the channel. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, click the button down the bottom there, and you know, and I think you're supposed to hit that bell ding dong thing. It tells you when I've uploaded a new video.